Good stuff.
Yeah. Wait, do you think that it was good stuff?
No.
Okay.
Brunch. Hit it, boys. The rivalry rages on.
It sure does.
The rivalry is back on, and it stays on. We don't know if any of our listeners care about Lights Camera podcasts. I think they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover.
We've gotten a lot of we got Twitter followers the old-fashioned way this week. That's how I used to get all my Twitter followers.
From just like adding people?
No, beefs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would just go at like other fuckers in my industry. I'd take them down, and they'd be like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I would just have really good zingers back, and they'd be like, "Well, this guy's way funnier than this guy. I'm gonna follow him." And that's how I got. That's probably how I got like the first 3,000.
It is always like interesting to find out like how people got followers because there's shit that happens where you're like, why did I get this many followers?
Yeah.
Like, why are you people jumping on board now?
Yours are easier to trace. Yours are
gifts.
no, not necessarily gifts, but just like time of the year. Like during the playoffs, if you're going to be on hockey Twitter, you got to have Pete in the picture. Yeah. That kind of thing. Other people, that was you.
It's the first time in like podcast history that I've ever fucked up like that. My bad.
I feel quite good about it. Well, that reminded me to put my phone in airplane mode. But yeah, our rivalry with the Lights Camera podcast fellas has raged on. It's been great. I've been in constant contact with them.
I don't know about
behind the scenes throughout the rivalry.
Raged on is a weird way to put it because we were never in a rivalry with them. We were like best buds. And then blockers ruined it all.
Yeah. So much like the rivalry is back on, it's like, there was a rivalry going on? I still reference that like 10 times a week, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That fucking loser.
Well, now that the Red Sox and Yankees, like the rivalry is actually back on, there's a lot of joking about the rivalry's back on.
I was watching nothing but hockey last night. I was gonna try to keep track of the basketball games to see who the Celtics got, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because if they get the Wizards, I'm going to fucking kill myself. So I don't want to see that. And
didn't they get the Wizards?
What?
Didn't they get the Wizards?
The Bucks.
Oh, they got the Bucks. Sweet.
And they tell me the experts tell me that this is one that Brad Stevens can coach his way past. That like the Celtics can win this series solely because Brad Stevens is smarter than everybody.
I just got a Giannis jersey.
I know.
So
well, the way I look at it is all these series is how many good players against how many good players? Because that's just how you do it in the NBA.
Yep.
And if they got the Wizards, I was going to think they would get swept because they would lose that 1-0. The Wizards have John Wall. The Celtics, even though like Tatum and Brown are fucking awesome,
they're not superstars.
They're not superstars yet. Yeah. And that it'll be unbelievable if they win like a couple rounds because one of those guys does become a superstar. It'll be the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Do you think that Toronto has superstars? Is Kyle Lowry a superstar?
I think that Toronto is more in basketball. People are going to be like, no. So let's just confidently say this. I think that they're very reminiscent of the old Pistons, where like no superstars. Yeah, you know,
it's a collective effort.
When they won, actually, they put out shirts because they beat the Lakers, and it was Full House beats a pair. And I was like, ooh, I almost bought that.
That's pretty
shirt.
Dope.
Didn't watch a game of that fucking series, but that's a cool little
Are you talking
bar.
about the Pistons?
Yeah.
Like back in the day?
Right, like
so that was like my favorite fucking team when I was in middle school.
Like the Ben Wallace,
traded
for Rasheed Wallace.
Yes, and then Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton,
Billups.
and Chauncey Billups. That was a fucking unreal starting five, and that was my favorite basketball team in middle school because of the fact that like none of them were great. Yeah, they just were all really good together.
And they went up against Kobe and Shaq. And did they kill them or was that a?
I want to say like 6 games, 5 games, 6 games.
Speaking of games and series, did you see your fellas over at EA Sports? And when I say fellas, I'm saying, EA Sports is only men. So at them, big problem. Hire a woman sometime, EA Sports. I don't know anything about that. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
just deciding that they're
they're also very, very racist. So you should tweet about them at that.
Are they?
Yeah, they make the NHL video games. Nobody else does that. That's pretty racist.
Interesting that they make the game with all the white people. Mm-hmm. Not very good, EA Sports. This episode brought to you by EA Sports. It's in the game. They did their little simulation for the NHL playoffs.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Who'd they pick?
A team that won't win. I went back. At work, they were like, ooh, the EA Sports did the simulation, and they have the Bruins make it to the Cup final. And I was like, sweet. And they're like, we should do something about this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, just before I write anything, I went and looked up. They're always wrong.
They're always wrong.
How are you going to be right about that?
But that's why you write about it, because then you say hey, this team's dead.
Big news. Bruins are or maybe they will and they'll win, because they actually had last year
Predators.
They had the Predators in the final. They had the Predators winning.
Yeah, they had the Predators winning the Cup last year, which pretty close,
pretty crazy. And they were the last team in the West. Right?
Right.
Or
yeah, they were the 8th
seed.
seed.
Yeah.
Because they swept the Blackhawks.
Yes.
And let up like 3 goals.
That was the best. It's actually, you know what? It's actually getting to, normally this time of year, this would be our little like sign off for everybody. It would be a couple years ago, it would be bye-bye. DJ has to work a lot, but then the Bruins stopped making the playoffs and I stopped covering the Bruins. So that freed up a lot of time for me. This would normally just turn into the time where I would just get like, this is quite sad, I just get like a lot of light beer and every night just go home and eat Chex Mix and drink beer and lie on the couch and watch hockey till I fall asleep.
That doesn't sound that bad, to be honest.
Awesome. And I would just text you the whole time because you'd be up like watching and writing about the shit.
Did notice an uptick in your text messages to me last night and the first night of the playoffs. A lot of hockey texts.
So last night I went out only to watch. I decided I was only going to watch hockey. I cut out the fat. And I did a fun little move of I got to the bar and was like, hi, could you please put on the Philadelphia Flyers, please? And the bartender...
Didn't even pick the good team in that matchup.
Right, you couldn't have said the Penguins game. And the bartender was like, yeah, sure. And there were 3 TVs. Red Sox on the huge TV in the middle. I was kind of situated near that TV. And then 2 TVs on the sides. And on the sides, they just had like the MLB network.
Yeah.
And she changed it and put... the Flyers.
No way.
Instead of the Red Sox. Instead of the Red Sox,
middle?
Yankees in the middle. And I grabbed the people I was with like by the arms like, oh my God, this is the most magically amazing thing that has happened to me, because people here probably want to watch the Red Sox and Yankees.
That bartender should immediately get fired.
So here's what it ended up being, though. She was putting the Red Sox and Yankees on the 2 outside ones. So because there's 3 TVs.
To outnumber.
Right, exactly. But for a second, the Red Sox and Yankees weren't on because the fucking Philadelphia Flyers and Penguins were on.
Because
the game was already 1-0.
You needed to watch the Flyers lose by 7.
That was an unbelievably bad
game. Unbelievable.
Fucking first period even.
And like the thing that makes me the most mad about it was that like the Penguins, obviously they're back-to-back Cup champs and all that. They go up 3-0 early and everybody's like, oh, Penguins playoffs to lose again.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, they are playing
you when it was like 2-0, and I was like, this is the fucking worst, because I thought that the Flyers were going to win the series. Maybe they still will.
Nope.
Not by the looks of that.
Nope.
I was like, holy shit, this is a clinic in... but that's what the Flyers have been all year. They've been really, really streaky, and when they've been bad, they've been holy shit bad, and they were holy shit bad last night. And I texted you after the second goal, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've seen in my life.
And by the time you sent that text message, there was a 3rd goal.
Right. You were like, well, the worst part is the Penguins are going to keep scoring, and then people are going to say, oh, the road goes through Pittsburgh again. And, even the last 2 years... I guess 2 years ago, you're like, oh, they had the coaching change, Mike Sullivan, Sydney, the big thing. Remember that? Sid's hungry again.
Yeah.
Dumb, stupid shit that we just made up.
That was the first year that Phil was there. So
that's right.
So it was like it was a new team, new coach.
Team of Destiny, because they had Phil Kessel.
Yes. Last year, last year
there was nobody else.
Yeah, there was the only powerhouse in the East last year was the Capitals, and
that's not going to happen.
Capitals. Yeah. So that literally just went through the Capitals. Like the fucking Senators made it to the goddamn Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, we can talk sports for a second. You guys like sports. I have the Penguins and Capitals losing in the first round this year.
That is craziness.
The Blue Jackets are the most team.
Yeah, they're so boring and like the worst.
That's why I predicted like a couple months ago when the Bruins
they're the
were
Minnesota Wild of the East.
Yeah, the Wild aren't going anywhere though.
Yeah, I don't think the Blue Jackets are either.
Yeah, my joke. They'll fucking win because someone weird always wins in hockey pick is the Blue Jackets, though.
Yeah, I mean, there is someone weird every year, so it could be the Blue Jackets, but I don't know. I like Washington.
I'll tell you what's hilarious. You're no stranger to riling up fan bases.
Speaking of which, Columbus hates me. The entire city of Columbus always hates me.
Really?
Yeah, because I just always pick against the Blue Jackets because I fucking hate the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, nice. Well, whenever I draw the ire of a fan base, I'm always like, why? What I said was totally fair. The classic one, when Pekka Rinne was having a bad year.
Yes.
I made a little joke, like, I bet Brad Marchand scores 100 goals tonight.
And then they got shut out.
Yeah, and then he shut them out, and everyone was like, oh, this Boston quote, like, writer, blah. I'm like, I am you don't put that in quotes. That is actually my job title. But anyway, so this year I think that the Lightning will fucking sweep the Devils, and I know the Devils played well against the Lightning this year. The Lightning are so much fucking better than the Devils, and the Devils are fucking hilarious. They have one of the best goalies in the world, and he's just not doing anything.
He hasn't
right.
been that good though.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was hurt, and then he was bad, and they're like, I guess
we'll play this
Keith
fucking
Kincaid
scrub.
yeah. Like, it's not like the fucking Hamburglers coming along and stopping everything. It's just like,
well, it's not like the Penguins where it's like you have two really good starting quality goalies.
Yeah.
You're fucking playing Keith Kincaid.
Yeah, what a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are weird this year. I'm interested to see which fan base turns out to hate me because I feel like I'm not really like going against the grain this year. Like, there seems to be more consensus that the good teams are good and the bad teams aren't that good. Like last year, the fucking Senators.
Yes.
There were people who were like, wow, this Senators team pretty good. And I was like, no.
People kept saying, I remember they kept like
everybody
you got away worse than I did,
at
but
me.
people would fucking like tweet, be like, oh, so you think the Senators still suck?
Yes.
Yeah, they're fucking awful.
Yeah. This year has been an unbelievable year of redemption.
Yeah.
In that department. But like, holy shit, for like a month and a half, it was just like, after every fucking Senators win, and I just kept waiting for them to suck, and they just didn't suck. And I was like, fuck. You guys will see, though. You will see.
The fucking things that took place for them to do what they did.
Erik Karlsson being fucking...
Well, Erik Karlsson was supposed to be
god
like that, but like fucking Bobby Ryan started actually scoring goals for the first time in fucking 11 years. What was it? 3 overtime games against the Bruins, who weren't very good,
and also
didn't have any defensemen.
Senators got pretty lucky, and like the Bruins got fucking hosed in one of those games with the Bobby Ryan play, where he fucking he boarded or cross-checked from behind, and then whoever retaliated, retaliated, and then they got the call, and then they scored in overtime.
Yeah, but the Bruins also fucking won a game because of Sean Corrali, right? So like those things, that series was a wonky affair. Yeah, exactly. So the rivalry rages on with us and Lights Camera Podcast. We all saw blockers. Depending on who you ask, actually,
right? There's been some accusations that we didn't actually see blockers,
right? So they made a diss track towards us. And I guess we'll just roll it in a second, but basically they go after us pretty hard. We'll just play it.
You had to do it to him this time, Ken Jack. Blockers is good and brunch is wrong. You can't tweet me because brunch is wrong. It's a good movie with full frontal dong. Blockers is good and brunch is wrong.
Brunch boys talk shit, they lost it. They said blocker sucks, I mean, did they even see it? Funny and heartwarming, so now we're warning. We heard your diss and now a storm is forming. When you called it lame, you didn't realize your blunder, and now we're storming you chumps. The lightning to your Now you're gonna wish you didn't make fun of blockers. Your views have weak legs like an Imperial Walker, a slobber knocker. In the words of JR, this cast is started with stars. This flick is hard like char, but y'all are at us like hyenas. Consider this a subpoena. Did you even see John Cena? Aaron Holtz was great, and so was Leslie Mann, saying line after line, incomplete deadpan. But it doesn't matter because we don't care what you think. Your pod's like your namesake, an excuse to drink.
Blockers is good and brunch is wrong. You can't tweet me because brunch is wrong. It's a good movie with full frontal dong. Blockers is good and brunch is wrong.
If you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. DJ and Pete Blackburn, you can suck our bark isn't nearly as bad as our bite. If liking Blockers is wrong, then we don't wanna be right. How dare you say that this movie drops below that piece of shit called Let's Be Cops. Wayans and Johnson, don't make me laugh. They couldn't act their way out of a paper bag. Were you high when you watched it? Should I call your dealer? In the words of Stephen A.
Stay off the weed!
This fight is done. Consider yourself buttered. We didn't mean to leave you both 6 feet under, but you left us no option when you started this battle. But y'all are from Boston, so how about them apples?
Blockers is good and brunch is wrong. You can't tweet me because brunch is wrong. It's a good movie with full frontal dong. Blockers is good and brunch is wrong.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Wait, do you think that it was good stuff?
No.
Okay. Same. I thought it was creative. It
Yes.
was a valiant effort.
It was-
I will
I'm-
say MVP Ken Jack. Ken Jack had some bars.
I just like Trill's voice.
I mean, Trill's voice is very soothing.
I like Trill so much.
Same.
That's like,
I mean, I like all of them.
that's my fucking friend, man.
I like
you
all
know?
of them.
Yeah.
They all have like very different personalities.
Yeah.
Jeff is a very nice guy.
Jeff's
and
like the
he's
guy
ve-
that I
he's like,
fucking trust. Jeff
Oh.
is like, sorry, Patrick. Like,
Yes,
what-
yeah.
like Jeff,
Yeah.
actually, sorry, Patrick, and Jeff Israel.
Ooh,
now, if
ouch.
but it's like,
it's been a tough month for Jeff Israel on this podcast.
how did we not have him on with the whole shirts off our back thing?
Or the whole Ready Player One thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like Jeff is like their leading man.
Yeah.
He's like the
He's
radio,
the straw that stirs
the
the drink.
commander. Ken Jack, very dry, very funny. Trill, just like hits all the buttons,
Wild
checks
card.
all the boxes.
Yeah. So
But Ken Jack was the MVP of this diss track, just specifically for that one line. Your what was it?
it's like an excuse. It's an excuse.
Your
to drink.
podcast is like its namesake. It's
Yeah.
an excuse to drink. I thought that was a heater.
I thought it was good. I thought that a lot of stuff was funny and light.
Not the best flow.
A lot, not awesome flow. We're not too sensitive of guys. We're snowflakes for sure. We're sensitive guys, but we're very sensitive guys.
We're sensitive in our
We're
guess-
comfortable. I would say that there's not and this isn't a bragging thing. I would say that there's not I wouldn't call myself a secure person, but I'm probably the least insecure person
Okay.
in the world. It's just like fuck. It's there. It's all embarrassing, but whatever. Take it. So you can't really hurt us too easily, but they did cross a line. They called us liars. Specifically, Ken Jack called us liars. So we have prepared a rebuttal diss track, and here it is.
Brunch boys talk shit, they lost it, they said Blocker sucks, I mean, did they even see it? Did they even see it? Did they even see it?
Did they even see it?
Yeah, we saw a motherfucker kind of question is that. Why ULCP hacks always questioning facts?
Come on, fellas. You gotta know we don't do lies. I seen the movie. I seen it with my own two eyes.
how?
First I got in my car, then I drove to the theater, took my movie pass card, and got a ticket from Peter.
That sounds legit, but what if they still don't believe you?
Before the show, the movie, they showed me some previews.
Call the young man Sting, cause I was watching that thing in the theater just praying that my phone don't ring. Hit the weekend matinee, too crowded at night. They took my ticket and they told me theater 8 on the right. What's up,
The theater was cold, but not as cold as my bites. Got that cookie dough frozen just the way that I like.
For me, it was sun-made raisins, all covered in chocolate. Took the box to my seat and I ate them.
Yo, Deej, what's wrong with your back?
Glad you asked. I heard it at the theater as a matter of fact. I just reclined too much, which isn't always the best. If I didn't see the movie, why's my back all messed? Fuck you, LCP. Get out of here with that shit. Calling us liars. Make me sick. Make me disgusted.
I was watching the Eagles documentary the other day, which I highly, highly recommend.
The band?
The
Not
band.
the football team.
Yes. Yeah. Get
Just
the fuck out of here.
Just watching the Super Bowl,
Then we got-
the
then we
Super Bowl
drafted Donovan
documentary.
McNabb, and everyone booed. They wanted us to draft Ricky Williams, but instead we took Donovan McNabb, and the fans booed.
I saw-
And then this one game they threw batteries at players. Well, they booed Santa Claus. Bunch of boo birds in the crowd. Oh, what a fucking documentary.
I saw a picture of Donovan McNabb's draft day this week because somebody was doing like draft analysis, and man, the suits back in those days were very bad.
Oh, was they like wide stripes? Yeah.
Like huge wide suits, like the jackets.
The lapels were like coming off the jacket, basically.
Yeah, it was basically like very boxy,
Yeah.
and the jackets would go down to like the thigh. Yeah, it's the worst.
Horrible. Really, really gross. No. So I was watching a documentary of the band The Eagles, and this makes me feel old because the documentary came out and everyone was like, this is a really, really good documentary. Everyone should check it out. Oh, man, Glenn Fry and Don Felder, those guys hate each other. Oh, man, Joe Walsh, what a kooky guy. Don Henley, ooh, like all that stuff. And so I was going to watch it like for like an hour the other night, and then I was going to get a little shut-eye, wind down the old day.
Yeah.
Finish up with a little movie. Mm-hmm. You ever do it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was going to do that, and so I was going to just watch an hour of it, and it was so good. I stayed up for like 3.5 hours. I'm fucking heating up pizza rolls. I stayed up all fucking night watching this documentary. I was all hyped up on it, but one of the things is fucking Joe Walsh. You know much about Joe Walsh?
The America's Most Wanted guy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I do. I watch that show a lot.
Yes, he left the
John
Eagles.
Walsh, I think,
so
right?
when the Eagles broke up in 1980, it was because Joe Walsh wanted to go find his son's killer. And
Okay, yeah. No, isn't there a Senator Joe Walsh on Twitter who is like the worst person in the world? Or like he used to be somebody, like I'm pretty sure there's a guy on Twitter named Joe Walsh, and he's
Joe Walsh, Illinois politician.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
It says he's an American conservative talk radio host.
He is the worst, and he doesn't pay his child support. So every time he has a dumb tweet, everybody responds like, "Hey, why don't you go fucking pay your child support?"
Love
It
when there's
rules.
like such a fucking easy response. That's why my
Jay
favorite,
Mariotti.
Yeah.
Whenever he went after, pardon my take,
yeah.
it
What a fucking dumb move.
Yeah.
My favorite tweet still is sent back a dog though.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Joe
You know
Walsh,
this guy is the worst because his handle is Walsh Freedom.
get out of here.
Go on with the
we're
other Joe
snowflakes.
Walsh.
We hate freedom. So Joe Walsh, he was their lead guitarist, but he's also he does some solo stuff. His thing is like he was a fucking animal back in the day. He sings that song "Life's Been Good." My Maserati does 185, he says. They took my license. Now I don't drive. That kind of stuff. Really crazy guy. And he was running buddies with Keith Moon back in the day.
Okay.
And he was saying, like, he's like, the worst thing that ever happened to me was Keith Moon took a liking to me because he would take me out partying and everything. And if you guys know anything about Keith Moon, super dead. And he was like, they were talking about what touring life was like. And one night, him and John Belushi wrecked
Also.
dead. Yeah. So I guess Joe Walsh, the worst thing that happened to a lot of
Fucking
people is they
immortal.
met Joe Walsh. Yeah.
That's true.
The worst thing that happened to
it's
Keith
like, hey,
Moon-
way to fucking pass the buck.
Yeah.
Fucking, you're just killing all your friends.
Keith was a really nice guy. We'd really just start to hit our stride, and then I don't know what happened. Anyway, so I was hanging out with John Belushi, and then he died too. No, they said like one night,
And then
him and
Jimi Hendrix.
he and John Belushi did like $26,000, and this is in the 70s, like $26,000 in damage to a hotel room. And I don't know if anyone
$26,000 in cocaine. I was
well,
nice.
probably.
Yes.
I don't know if this has ever been discussed. Has anyone ever gotten to the bottom of like why did people fucking trash hotel rooms back in the day?
I would imagine just because like it's not your room, like it's not your bedroom, and I don't know, like,
But like logistically, what do you do after? Do you get like another hotel room? Because that's where you're supposed to fucking sleep.
I think you just wake up in a dump and then you just leave.
But does that sound good to you? Even
No,
if
like
you're on
I
drugs.
go into hotel rooms and I watch HGTV and eat in bed and then I leave.
Right, yeah.
That's my idea of trashing a hotel room.
Yeah, you toss a little down, and then...
It's not like I'm just like drinking cum in bed or something. Maybe sometimes.
Should the mood strike.
You're right. No, like I would just I just think that like if you're on drugs, anything's in play, and you just want to smash some shit.
That really just sounds awful to me.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a place where everything's wrecked.
Right, like
even if it's me who's wrecking it.
The best thing about a hotel room is that it's fucking pristine, and then you walk out for a few hours, and then you come back. Like you
it's
don't
even
make
better.
the bed,
Yeah.
and it's fucking. They find ways to improve it. They fucking give you new towels and everything. Hotels are fucking sick.
They are awesome, and also just like another bad thing about trashing a hotel room is that everything is more expensive in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Like the price of everything is inflated. You drink a beer, it's $35.
Yeah.
You break a chair, that's a $3,000 chair. So like $26,000 in damage to a hotel room, they probably just like shit on the floor.
Even being rich aside, I really would like to be in that situation, or like of that status where you have enough money to do fucking whatever you want, just to see how my behavior would compare with what I think now my behavior would be. Because right now, if money were no object, like, would you buy multiple cars? I really fucking don't think I would.
I would buy multiple cars. I like cars, and I think it's fun to switch it up.
I think I'd buy like a nice Acura or something.
Jesus, you are very boring.
Yeah. Well, cars-wise, who fucking cares about cars?
I might lease a couple cars.
Ooh, that's not bad.
That's a good move.
I might lease my next car, I decided. I'm almost done paying off my current car, and I just think I'm going to fucking run it into the ground.
Right.
People don't know
Well,
this. I have a fine car, but people just started hitting it a couple of years ago.
That was
I just
like
never did anything about it.
Towards the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah, never. Well, I think
like there was
the
like a
beginning of the
2-week stretch.
podcast was when I. Oh yeah,
2-week stretch where you just like were coming here and people were just hitting your car while you were recording the
They
podcast.
were doing it here. Yeah, you're right. So someone did it one time during Sunday Skate. Someone like fucking left a dent on my car. They like leaned in over one of the wheels, and then one time, I got out of fucking recording this podcast, and the car was all smashed up. And the guy was like, "Oh, sorry, I don't
live on a busy
smashed up your-"
street.
Yeah,
I live on like a street that if you live here, you come down the street. If you don't, you probably don't know that the street exists.
Yeah, and then an old woman hit my car one time, and she, God bless her, played up that old woman shit, which is exactly what I would have done. She was like, I don't
would
know
do
what
that in any
happened.
situation.
And I was like, I do.
I would do that in any situation. Like when I'm old, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, and my excuse always is going to be, well, I'm old.
Yeah. Would you buy multiple homes?
Ideally, yes, like because I like traveling and I like being in different places and different settings, but the thought of having multiple homes and not being in one of them at a time it gives me a lot of anxiety.
Right.
And I don't want to like put somebody else in my house.
Oh, no. My thing would be one home, like a fucking home base, an actual house, and then everything else would be, I would buy like condos in buildings. I feel that that's a better place to leave
something unattended.
Unattended, like if there's a building, no one's gonna fucking, I don't know, like if.
But also, like if you have that much money, you can just fucking get like a hotel suite, which is basically like an apartment.
Yeah,
like you can stay there for a lengthy period of time, or you can just get a really dope Airbnb.
Yeah,
wherever you want.
What's the thing that happened to fucking? Who's the guy that used to do the hockey stuff? He was like a comedian. He's a Canadian guy, but the thing was he's not very funny. And he was someone like fucking killed someone in his house, and he wasn't there.
Yeah,
like I don't want that happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends who the murdered party is, but most likely I'm not going to be down with that.
I think I would I think that I would just have one nice house. My thing is, I would have like a fucking full-fledged studio up in there with like a million fucking guitars, fucking a drum set, even though I don't fucking play the drums, just everything.
You know what I would?
Electric pianos, acoustic pianos, the whole fucking nine.
You know what I would get? I'd get a boat.
Ooh.
I want a boat. And I think that I would, a big purchase that I would want to make is I'd want to get like an RV, but not like a dingy RV. I want to get like a tour bus RV.
That'd be cool. But imagine the fucking.
It's
just so
expensive.
fucking big. And
It's expensive, and like you have to like plan shit, but you get to go anywhere you want, and it's comfy, and it's like a mobile fucking apartment.
Here's how I would get an RV if I had like a fucking Batman type of situation where there's like a fucking space underground where you could just fucking keep
Like a
the thing.
bunker?
Yeah, because like I wouldn't want to I would want the thing out of my fucking sight when I'm not using it. I wouldn't want it to. I just feel like having something that big would be really fucking cumbersome.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you have that much money, you won't have to fucking park your RV on your front lawn.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you buy shit for other people?
No.
Yeah,
Fuck other people.
I would just do it for. I'd be like,
I'd buy
it's
shit for
not
like my
fair.
mom.
Right. I'd be like, it's not fair to.
If I have to buy this for you, I have to buy this for everybody.
Right, and I hate everybody else.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I like you though, but I
Yeah.
just don't want to do anything for you.
Fucking James Harden won't eat on blind dates because he's afraid of food getting stuck in his beard. You tell me.
I did tell you that.
Broke that news to
My bigger question is why the fuck is James Harden going on blind dates?
My biggest question is, do blind dates even exist anymore? Because they don't.
They could, but you would have to literally know nothing about the person.
So that's so I've been on one blind date in my life. It was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like such a fucking YOLO thing. My friend was
You
like,
must have been in a really bad place.
I was actually just like, I did it way more as a social experiment of like, ooh, like a cool new chickadee in my life. Like, no. One of my friends was like, hey, like, I don't know if you're seeing anybody, but like, my friend is like looking for blah, blah, would you mind being set up? And I was just like, I was coming back from like Montreal or something. And I was just like riding hungover, and I was like, yeah, why not? And she was like, oh, you want me to like send you any pictures of her or anything? And I was like, no. Yeah, because like, oh, well, if
It's a nice little experience.
yeah, I just did it for fucking fun.
I could see you being set up on a blind date and you get there and it's a guy because your friend mistook you for a gay person.
So then what do I do?
And then you just become best
I
friends
stay
with that
out.
person.
Yeah, I would for sure fucking stay out.
That's literally where I was going with that. You just get set up on a blind date with a gay guy accidentally,
Yeah.
and then you guys become best friends forever.
It would be one of those, like, the bar would be closing and one of us would be like, oh, I know another place we can go.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
we can drink for one more hour.
Yes.
That'd be the best.
I
Well,
know.
like, yeah.
Like, I want that for you because I know how much you would enjoy it.
Yeah. So.
That's how we met.
Yeah. No, so it was like fucking fun. It didn't end up becoming a thing or whatever, but it was cool to fucking go to meet somebody that you don't know a fucking thing about them, and it was cool. I would recommend. I don't think you can do it anymore.
Well, again, you just have to not know a single thing about them.
You have to
can't
say,
even know
don't-
their name,
Right.
Like, because there's
Well, so
Facebook
she was like,
now,
oh,
there's
well,
Instagram.
her name is, and I was like, and she was like, how the fuck are you going to be able to find the person? I was like, oh, no. She was like, well, here's her number if you want to set something out. I was like, no. So I just
literally, you could have somebody's number and that's it, and
Yeah.
like not text them and still find out who they are.
Yeah.
With like the internet, because now you can just plug it into Facebook and find out who they fucking are.
So that was kind of. I mean, I didn't fucking care. I assumed that they like looked me up on Facebook or whatever. But it was like a genuine
Blind date.
We don't know fucking anything about each other, and it was quite cool.
Why is James Harden going on blind dates?
Yeah. So blind dates for sure don't exist for James Harden.
Well, they don't. They
Maybe
like,
on his end.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, they literally can't exist for James, like in general, because
the Zac
they
Efron
know
rule.
who James Harden is most likely.
Do you know the Zac Efron rule?
No.
Remember, he said he can't go on dates anymore because they know too much.
Oh my god!
Remember that?
No,
we did like 3 episodes about that.
That was probably
He
like
said
3
that-
years ago, though.
He said that, he was like, anyone, like, I can't take a girl out because she already knows everything about me, and like I can't get to know them that way.
It's such a cocky line.
Yeah,
It's such a I'm too big of a deal to go on dates.
Well, you haven't been on the prowl really in the run of this podcast, so you've not experienced this, but it's a major, at least for me, it's not, turn off might not be the right word, but it gives me the heebie-jeebies if anyone's like, oh, I know, I saw you do this, or I'm like, all right, never mind.
It's like
Zac Efron rule. She knows too much.
She knows I exist. Yeah, like I think it's weird that if you go on a date with somebody who you don't know or you never met, and they know of your existence before you get on the date.
Yeah.
Like, I want to start at the same point.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know you for as long as you know me. If you
Because
know
really-
me for longer, no.
Because really, a date with someone that you don't know, it's like a fucking podcast. It can start anywhere and go anywhere else. If you start it with like, all right, we have to start with fucking, oh, your friend says that this, blah, blah. Okay, get out of here.
Yeah, because that's such an easy that's such an easy crutch for the other person.
Yeah,
like if they know your mutual friend, they'll be like, well, what about this? And then you basically end up talking about like what the mutual friend thinks the entire.
You know what I
date.
say? You know what I say? I say, hey asshole, I don't see our mutual friend here. This is about me.
And all those dates work out really well for you.
Yeah, I have a lot of first date tips.
Not a lot of second date
ample
tips.
first date tips. The third date tip is act like you have a stomach ache. Go home.
DJ's two specialties in dating: first date tips and breakup tips.
Yes, yeah. We run the gamut from the beginning.
Beyond that, not interested.
Yeah, that's where it gets boring.
But also just like the fact that you don't eat on first dates or blind dates. Well, it's weird that he classifies that as like a blind date thing.
Yeah,
it's not just a first date thing. Like if he
like
knows the
okay,
person
if
going
someone
in,
who knows you, it's okay. Like I knew before that he has a beard. Like, your fucking blind date doesn't see that you have a beard.
Maybe oh, well, that would
also,
make sense.
you can't have that wild a look without not giving a fuck.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to like embrace the fact that, but it's a little different for James Harden though, because that look makes him more attractive. Like, that's not like a I don't give a fuck thing. That's like a I kind of need this beard or else my face looks fucking weird. That's
true. You know who else has that going on? Is the dearly departed late Josh Tillman. You might know him better as Father John Misty.
Yes.
He's got that thing going on too, where he's got this like fucking, like his hair's a mess. He's got this big fucking beard. But we saw when he shaved his beard, everyone was like, ugh, no. Like you're fucking dripping with sex when you look gross, but when you look nice, get the fuck out of here.
It's that for sure exists. Like if you have like a bad jaw or like a bad chin and you can hide it with a big old beard, that gives you a lot more points. We never talked about John Krasinski's beard in A Quiet Place.
Oh no, but it was good.
It was very good. He had a very good beard.
The farther I get away from that movie, the more I'm like, man, he looked really, really great. Like, because he also had the fucking dirt look going on, and
that was an excellent look for him. You're not a video game guy.
Close your eyes.
You're not a video game guy, so you didn't play The Last of Us.
No. Well, I'm not a video game guy, but I did actually.
Yeah,
played that a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
He very much reminded me of the main character in The Last of Us, probably because it's a zombie survival video game, and the main character has a beard.
Is there a video game where the grid goes down?
There's a lot of video games where the grid goes down.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The Division was a game that came out a couple years ago, basically about the grid getting hacked and shit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that at all.
Yeah. So this is like a big reason why I want you to get into Black Mirror, because I just want to see how much it rattles you. What if we did a thing where we did Black Mirror, but we only did like one episode a week?
No.
Come on. That would be so much fun.
No, because that's even worse.
Because you'd have to spread it out more.
Right. Then like I'm thinking about it more, and
you have to like go through every week knowing that you have a Black Mirror episode waiting for you on like on a Wednesday night.
Right now I'm grabbing my fucking leg out of nervousness as we talk. Now
come on,
like
we have to do this. Like it'll be the most awful thing for you,
I brought up the
I want
grid
to
to
do
my
it.
dad yesterday again.
Sure, he
was
enjoyed it.
like, "Oh, you know why we were talking about something, and he was like, well, you know why like the Patriots are fucked in a couple years?" And I was like, "'Cause the grid will go down." He was like, "No, stop with."
You and your dad seem like very opposite people, or very different people. I don't know much about your dad from like the little exposure that I have to him. That guy just seems like he likes sports and puppies, and that's fucking it.
It's a pretty good
and like
situation.
doesn't have a care at all beyond that. And
so
then
maybe
you're
you
over
and my
here.
dad are a lot alike. That's why we hang out. No, I am crazily similar to both of my parents. Like my mom is super outgoing. My dad is sports and puppies. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's actually a good way of putting it. Like I get my personality from my mom, and I get my interests, I would say, from my dad. And oh god, I love puppies. I was saying to my sister the other day, I was like, "You guys fucked me with fucking Emilio because I could never get a dog."
That story could have went differently.
Yeah. No, I was like, it's because it's like being in love with like your friend's girlfriend, and being like, "Ooh, I ought to get a girlfriend." And like that's not no.
Yeah, it's like
your problem is you want that girl.
Right. That girlfriend won't be the same one as the one that you like.
And because here's what would happen.
It's
I would
like Joey and Chandler.
Yes,
right. They dated that girl.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say when he sees Monica and Chandler doing a crossword puzzle, and they're all cozy and coupley, and he takes it as a sign. And he has a dream that they're doing a crossword puzzle together. And he takes it as a sign that he's in love with Monica.
Oh, God.
Versus that just like he's a fucking lonely guy. You know what I saw yesterday was the one where it's Emma's first birthday and no one wants to be at the party because Monica and Chandler want to go to Vermont for the weekend, and Joey has an audition, and Joey didn't get her a present, so he says his present is he's going to do a dramatic reading of one of Emma's books. So they're like, "Oh, okay, do it." And so he just grabs the first book off the pile, and he's like, "Okay, how to deal with postpartum."
Oh, no. God.
Yeah. Funny shit. It was like one of the later episodes that you're like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Talk Monday.